What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So what I want to explain to you is some people are going to find it really hard to put this into practice, but as men, it's important a lot of the time when your woman loses attraction towards you not to panic. And the reason is simple. I want to ask you something. I'm going to sort of flip it around and change the dynamic of the video for just a couple seconds here. When you go about your day to day, are you in the same mood for every second of every day? Probably not. A second question would be, are you always in the mood to think about women? Like, are you always in the mood to think about women? Some men is probably going to be yeah, but some men probably not. Are you always in the mood to think about activity in the bedroom with women? Probably not. Women are the same. Women aren't always going to be in the same mood every day. Women aren't always going to be in the mood for thinking about men. And I say that to say this because we have a variety of moods. The universe is like a river. It keeps on flowing and keeps on moving. So if your woman loses attraction towards you and you haven't done anything crazy, it's not time to panic. Because women even, they actually, as I'm sure many of you know, have body cycles. So typically speaking, through those body cycles, they even have, and I'm not claiming to be an expert, I'm not a woman, but, a woman at certain parts in her body cycle is going to be sometimes, more attracted to the bad boy. And then in other occasions, she may be more attracted to a nice guy. It's all to do with, the body cycle. When she is in a certain stage of her body cycle, her subconscious is telling her to seek someone with good genetic material. And then in another part of her body cycle, she may be more inclined to find someone or be attracted to men who are more projecting that provider and protector energy. So women's mood fluctuates. And her attraction towards you is going to change day to day, maybe even hour to hour. So you need to keep this in mind. So if you're having a great day with your woman one day and it's going great and she's really into you and she's, getting close to you, that's great. But on the other hand, if it's another day and she seems a little bit distant and you haven't done anything, don't worry, don't panic. As men, we need to make sure that we don't panic in situations. And everything I'm saying here is easy to say, harder to practice. I get that. We're human beings, we're men, but we're also human beings. But I really want to stress the point to you that if your woman loses attraction towards you a little bit from time to time, it's not time to panic. It's not time to start blowing up the phone. It's not time to start saying, oh, what's wrong? What have I done something? Don't do that. If you have done something and your woman is upset with you, you need to make it known, that you're here to speak, and then you need to back off. And then if she wants to come to you, she will come to you. She just wants to process her emotions by herself. She will do that. She wants to confide in her friends. She will do that. You just let it be known that the door is open, and then you leave it at that. But as a man, you really don't need to panic when your woman loses a little bit of attraction towards you. Moods fluctuate. Sometimes she's going to be feeling you more times than other times. And maybe as a man, you might be the same as well. Life isn't black and white. Life isn't linear. So it's not time to panic when your woman loses a little bit of attraction towards you. The only thing you can do is check yourself and just see if you're displaying unattractive traits. So if you need, it's time to question yourself, have you been displaying needy behavior? That often is the biggest turnoff. And often a lot of guys who watch a lot of content and they try and become experts with women and they start deploying tactics with women, but because it's not really who they are, eventually who you really are comes out, and then they start displaying the unattractive traits. And one of the big ones is needy behavior, insecurity, being too pushy. These are the behaviors, the needy behaviors and the unattractive behaviors that turn women off. And you need to question yourself, are you displaying these traits? Another one, are you being pushed away from your goals, or are you no longer pursuing your goals? Are you no longer as driven as you once were? Are you no longer the guy that she was initially attracted to? Have you stopped doing the things that initially attracted her to you? So it's time to, when she loses a little bit of attraction towards you and you feel it, it's time to question yourself. Are you doing anything that's unattractive? And if so, you can fix that. But it's not time to panic. It's not time to panic, because even if you are Mr. Perfect, 10 out of 10, which doesn't exist, but let's just say, just for the sake of the video, 10 out of 10, Mr. Perfect, she may still lose attraction towards you maybe for a week while she's going through what she's going through. And maybe it's got nothing to do with you. Maybe it's something that's going on in her life and she just needs to process her way through it. Maybe if she's acting a little distant, then that's something that she's going through and something she needs to process, and that's absolutely fine. There's no time to panic. It's not the time to panic. It's not the time to panic, because that in itself, women are highly emotionally sensitive creatures. Well, I don't say creatures, but women are highly sensitive, emotional beings. That's a better word. And they can sense it, okay? They can sense it. They can sense when you're panicking, okay? So if you panic, that's going to make things even worse. That's going to make things even worse. If you sense she's lost a little bit of attraction towards you and you start panicking, the panic will often lead to the undesirable behaviors, and then it just spirals and it's a snowball effect. So panicking is, you can do it in your own time. You can do it in a room by yourself, but you need to be projecting the energy of a man who's got it together, keeping his cool, doing his thing, chasing his goals. And ultimately, she should most times come back to you and become re-attracted, or the attraction goes back up. And if she does start losing attraction towards you, listen, if you are achieving your goals, you're being the best man you can be, and you're on your mission, and she still loses attraction towards you, then it's not, then it wasn't meant to be. There's not much more you can do. Just focus on what you can do and don't focus on what you can't do or what you can't control. Anyway, let me know what you think about what I said here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description. With that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. For mortgage advice tailored towards your individual needs, contact PGB Mortgages today. Let them guide you through your home buying journey. Contact details are in the description.